Welcome to the Mom and podcast, the podcast that helps you make your ellipses count. I'm Suzanne.
And I'm Missy. And today we are moms who are about to take a little summer break. So we're going to do a mini episode, maybe the miniest episode we've ever done. You
Yes.
think?
I
Yeah,
don't
tiny,
know.
tiny.
I don't know. You have
We'll
a
see.
hard stop at 5. We'll see if we can do it or
We'll see if
not.
we do it. But I think it might be a very short episode, people. And we're going to share some exciting news. And then we're giving you a summer project, just like your kids get summer projects. And by the way, you're running out of days to nag your kids to finish their summer project.
I am in so
My
much
kid's summer
trouble.
project is applying to colleges or getting ready to apply to colleges. And it makes my stomach hurt. Just think about it. So that's where we are. The project we're giving you is way easier and more fun than that, though. And we're going to give you a whole month to do it.
Yes. So the assignment. What's that TV show or that movie? If you so choose to do it or whatever.
If you
What?
choose to accept
I
your
don't know.
mission, should you choose to accept it? Mission
Yes.
Impossible.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to go back and listen to 4 episodes that you may have missed over the past few months. So, we're going to make it really easy on you because we're taking the next 4 weeks off. So, you will not get behind. You have time to go back and check out some of the ones that you may have missed. And since we like to be extra helpful, we're going to give you a list of some of our favorite episodes that have really, really, especially I gotta say, for me, have helped me out a big time since the new year.
Yeah.
So,
And if you have listened to every episode, we're really grateful. We thank you so much. That's very kind of you. You can
moms.
pick favorites. Yeah, it's probably our moms, but my mom watches. If you've watched every episode, um, you can pick a favorite and listen again. And I mean, we do the interviews. We were just talking about it. We do the interviews. I read the transcript when I make the show notes. Suzanne reads the transcript and edits the episode. And then we listen to the whole thing again. And we still forget stuff, even stuff we love so much. And that was our favorite.
Speaking of which, bonus points to any of you who can help me remember the episode where the coach we were talking to asked us to take a look at all of our past jobs and break them down into the elements that we liked and that we did not like and that we would, want to incorporate into a future job. I want to thank them so much, but I cannot for the life of me remember which of our 128 episodes it was. And I'm hoping maybe one of you does, or maybe that will just happen to be one of the episodes you go back and check out. And seriously, I think we'll send a mug to whoever can help answer this for me because I really want to go thank this person because the exercise was so helpful. I had spent probably a decade telling myself that I did not want to go back to advertising. I did not want to go back to client work. And I just had made this a weird little loop in my head that was limiting a lot of the choices
Yeah.
that I'd been considering. But when I did that exercise and I pulled out parts of the jobs that I've had over the years, I actually love the parts about working with clients and managing budgets and the project management and helping clients solve problems. What I did not like was working 60 plus hours a week and not having boundaries, which I've learned, thank goodness, through a lot of our episodes about how to do. And there was
Yeah.
elements of tons of airplane travel, which that does not have to necessarily apply to a marketing, advertising, or agency job. So
Right.
ended up that I was probably really limiting myself from the things that I was even looking at. And I just recently started a job with an agency doing some client work. And I'm so excited because it is all the things of those blocks that I pulled apart that I liked and none of the stuff that I did not.
So great.
So yes, I'm so excited. So if you know who that was, I want to thank them. So please help remind me which episode that was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, we can't remember what episode that was, but you do remember some of your other favorite episodes
yes.
that really helped you kind of get to this point and know that you were ready to take the leap and take on some work.
Yes. Well, one of them, and this is technically not within this calendar year, but it's within the past 12 months, episode 95
Let it
with
go.
Shelley Hayes McMahon, who's a friend of mine. The episode was actually about voting rights, but
Yeah.
Shelley's just a magnificent person in so many different ways.
Yes,
And
she is.
she had followed up with me a couple months ago when I was considering another role. and offered me the gift. I think I've mentioned this a couple times on the podcast. The gift
Mhm.
of a resume. Her friend April Willis does all kinds of coaching, and she also does resume services. And we will link to her in the show notes. But I
And hopefully have her on a show in the
I
future.
know. How
Me
have we not
either.
invited her to be on the
I
show? We're
don't
such
know.
ding dongs.
I
We
know.
will
We
do
need to
that.
get that done.
We'll do that. But just the reminder from Shelley, I did not take her up on the gift of it. I ended up paying April for the services myself. But the fact
Yeah.
that Shelley saw value in me in investing in myself to get that resume done, that just meant a lot to me. So I get surround yourself with friends like a Shelley. And I do think
Yeah.
as we come upon another voting season, and there's always something that's a voting season, it feels like, that's another episode 95. It's a good one to take a look at when we look at racial equity when it comes to voting
Yeah.
and gerrymandering and all those types of things. And
Yeah.
what about you, Missy?
So
What's one of yours? We'll ping pong it.
so one of mine is Addie Swartz, which was episode 113. She founded Reachire. She founded a lot of things. She's our guest who like founded a company on maternity leave.
That's
She's
right.
amazing. And she created the definitive return to work playbook, which I found incredibly helpful. At the time, I wasn't sure I was ready to return to work. I have taken on a small role. And for many of the same reasons Suzanne did, I something came my way that checked the boxes of the things that I did like and I enjoy doing. And I'm going to be helping plan some conferences. I'm not trying to be secrety, but I can't lay it all out there yet because it's still in the works. But I'm going to be helping plan some conferences and working with writers, which is amazing and calls on some of my past experience. And Addie was one of the first episodes we had that made me think about sitting down and going through and looking at what I would like to do when I was ready to return to work and what I needed to do to make it work for my life.
What if
So that's a
Addie's the
great
one
episode.
that I'm searching for?
Maybe it is. I don't remember her saying exactly that, but it really could be.
It could be.
Okay, what's one of your other favorites?
Oh my goodness. Let's see here. So, this will be a quick one because we've already been talking about Briar Doherty a lot. In fact, it was one of our most recent episodes. Was it the last
Last
episode,
week. It
128?
was last week.
And
Yeah.
also, she was episode 125. And as I mentioned in episode 128, we were going to have her back to the show anyway, but it just happened to be that I had used her services in her job seeker membership. What is that thing called? Yeah.
Job seeker membership. Yeah.
Job seeker membership. Um, I thought I was just going to be in there for the heck of it and just, preloading on some information, but it ended up that I
Hmm.
needed it ASAP for the job that I ended up interviewing for. So Briar's just been an amazing resource. And I just, even after that first recording with her, we joked we were going to call it the Mom and dot 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 Briar podcast because she just has such a wealth of information. And she just
Yeah,
is, I mean, if you are listening to her talk for, 45 minutes, you're getting 45 minutes of information. There's no fluff. It's
absolutely.
just like good, good, good stuff.
No fluff.
So if you are, I say if you're searching for a job, but I really would recommend, even if you are considering searching for a job, this would have
Yes.
been really useful information to have, not 10 p.m. the night before my interview, to actually be thinking weeks,
Right.
days at least ahead.
Right.
Um,
I mean, I think
so
anybody at any time could need this information. You never know. Like,
yes,
it's great information, and it's great to know that it exists out there, where to find her and where to find us. You can go back to this episodes and bookmark them and know it's there if you need it.
yes, highly recommend. And I mean, that's a good little summer project too. Listen to our podcast in 1.5 speed. You got extra time. And so, yeah, go do some of those exercises.
All right. Well, another episode that I really loved, it was Siobhan St. Preux. And what I loved about her was episode 114. And she is a go getter. If y'all remember, she is the one who founded Saint's House and she really just saw a need and filled a need. And she has no qualms about asking for what she needs and going out and getting what will make her project work. And I think about her a lot when I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I have my ducks in a row." I'm like, "I don't need my ducks in a row. I know there are ducks and I'm gonna go after it." And, she's so encouraging. I thought she was funny and kind, and if you need
Yes.
that little push, she's a great episode.
That's true. You don't have to wait till everything's perfect to take that next step. You just kind of
No.
take the step and figure it out as you
Yes.
go.
Like Becky Blades too. I'll find that episode
Oh,
number. She's our
yes.
Stardust. It's that Stardust Street idea, and I love it so
Yep.
much. And it has really encouraged me just to take the leap when it's time to take the leap and not dwell too long on all the little what ifs.
And don't be afraid to start more than you can finish. You don't have to finish
Yeah,
everything. You can try a
don't
lot of
finish it.
things. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
So freeing. That's so freeing.
it is. Oh,
So, and you have
okay.
another favorite, I think?
I do. I just it all comes back to Laura Vanderkam, really. Episode 105.
Yeah.
We had talked to her as she was leading into a program called Tranquility by Tuesday. One of the biggest thing, well, there was two big things I got out of that, was
Yeah.
the program made me get a bedtime, which that was really
Awesome.
helpful. It's a good habit. And then also just this idea of time tracking. I gotta say, I do not do it on the regular
No.
now. Well, actually, I do a lot of time tracking now because I have to bill. I'm on a contract basis, so I have to bill my time. So
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
I am very conscious about the time that I am spending in that sense. And because I'm so busy, I don't even have a lot of time to spend on social media and worried about what I'm doing there. But for a period there, I was doing an excessive amount of scrolling, and that is part
I
of
think
what
we
made
all
me
do that
realize.
sometimes.
Yes. Well, but becoming more conscious of that because you cannot make changes or make really intentional decisions unless you know what you're working with. And so the time tracking, even if you just do it for a couple of days, is really helpful. It just gives you actionable data to look at and say, what am I working with here? And what I was working with was more hours, disposable hours per day than I thought I had, that I was doing non-nutritious things with, whether it's social media or just kind of booping around to one thing to another. That really made me realize that I do have time to, even if it's not a full-time job, to start considering doing some work that is a little more financially helpful than all my
Yeah.
volunteer gigs. So
Right.
yeah, so that was, I think, one of the first things that really kicked me into motion was that episode 105 with Laura.
Yeah. That's what I took away from her episode too. It's just that I have a lot more time than I was pretending I had. I just wasn't using it all really well. And I don't use it all really well every day still, but I learned a lot from that. And when I am in my best gear, I call back to all of that. I mean, can get so much more done when I'm focused on it. And I don't track my hours every day, but I learned a lot from doing it for I think I did it for like a week and a half. And I think I may do it who's not Laura, but her podcast partner.
Sarah Hart Unger.
Sarah Hart Unger, who is another really fun episode, especially if you're a pen and paper nerd.
I still have
Sarah
her
said she only
pen.
does it like she does quintiles, not quarters, but she'll track for a little while in each quintile and think about her time in that. And I think about that all the time. Like my summer season has been vastly different from what my fall season will look like. And so I think about my time now a little differently than I will think about it in the next quintile. And I love that. So we'll
Yes.
put that episode number in there. And then I just wanted to call out Yael Schoenbrun's episode. It's
Mhm.
episode 116. I'm getting her newsletter now, so we'll put the link in the show notes to her newsletter. It's brain stuff. You all know I love the brain stuff. And she is a psychiatrist, a psychologist, and so smart. Her newsletter is just fascinating, even if it's a topic that I'm like, oh, I didn't know I was interested in that. I read the whole thing. Super interesting. And her book is Work, Parent, Thrive, talking about how to balance all of this stuff that's going on in our world and thrive. And she was another one who really encouraged me that it can be done. We can go find some meaningful work and thrive amongst our parenting duties and our passion projects and everything. So,
Yes. Can I do a little shout out related to meaningful work?
uh huh.
The client that I'm actually working on now could not be more aligned with everything that
That
Mom
is
and dot dot
true.
dot podcast is about.
Hmm.
So I just want to give them a little shout out because I don't want to say this that I would do this for free. But I mean, this is the kind of work that we love to do, even volunteer work for.
And
Um,
tomorrow, Suzanne's hourly rate cut
yeah,
drastically.
exactly. No, but I mean, this is the type of thing that is a passion project and very near
True.
and dear to my heart. So, anyway, it is called Ready to Work. We'll put a link in the show notes. The website is ready to work SA for San Antonio.com. And it is this amazing, the city is funding for like 28,000 people to help them get ready to work. It's a training, education, employment program. It helps guide people through the entire process. If you need resources like childcare, transportation, they help connect you with those. They help you work with coaches that help personalize your career and training plan, and they enroll you in courses depending on what timeline that you have available or what resources you have available. They can help you decide what type of courses are most appropriate for you. They help cover the cost for those, prepare you for job interviews. And it's just like, oh my gosh, all these things that are so incredible. And I'm sure I will be talking about it more in the future. But the whole goal that I'm working on is it's so nice not to like be trying to take money from people. You're trying to like give money to people. Like let
It's much more fun. Yeah.
Yes, trying to find people that you can give things to is just such a
Yeah.
wonderful thing, but it's sadly hard to find people who, because we know what it is. Your mindset could get really limited based on, all
Yeah.
the things that you think aren't possible or all the things you don't even know that you don't know about what is available out there, the resources that are available. We
Yeah.
How long did it take us to try to convince people that like there's no shame asking for help, or even professionals can benefit from coaches? it's
Right.
it's you kind of have to be vulnerable to say that yes, I could use help.
Right.
So there's
And I
all
find in my
types.
advocacy work that people, they don't know it's out there, but even if they know it's out there, sometimes they think there's a catch. Like,
Yes.
you want to give this to me, but then what do I have to do?
Yeah.
And I think that they have been in the system or whatever, whether it's the foster care system or some other system, and they have felt like they've been had before. And it's hard sometimes to step back and go, this is a good thing and just accept it. It's
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah, there's no catch. There's no
Yeah.
catch. Everything is designed to try to help you to get
So
to that
great.
next step without being scared, without
Yeah.
worrying about where those resources are going to come from. So, anyway, I'm still learning more about it. Hopefully, I did not misstep on any of the marketing talking points. I might be getting fired. They're going to
Yeah,
say,
you
"Oh,
did
you're
it.
willing to volunteer and you said all our stuff wrong?" Okay, bye. No, and I mean, I would
Oh,
love to bring actually some people from the program onto the podcast too, to share some of the stuff
we
that they
absolutely should.
do. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, hopefully we will talk more about that in the future. But since we're going to be away for a month, I didn't want to waste a month of y'all not knowing that this is something. It's available for people who are residents of the San Antonio city area. If you are in the military, they give you some exceptions for the boundary on that. I mean,
Okay.
not Chicago, but, but within reason. And there's also, you can go to the website, there's some income stipulations and other factors that you meet
Yeah.
these criteria and then you're eligible for the program, but it's pretty darn reasonable and there is no catch, so we highly
And
recommend
it feels like
anyone.
a job tailor made for you.
I'm
Like it
so
is
excited. I
just
know.
there waiting for you.
I know.
It's amazing.
Isn't it bonkers that everybody keeps on saying it's
Yeah.
perfect, except for it doesn't involve sex ed? And I was like, not yet. No, it does not
Not
involve
yet.
sex ed. It does not involve sex ed. But yeah, everything other than that, I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
could not
It
be more
checks
perfect.
so many boxes.
Super excited. And so yeah,
Yeah.
highly recommend y'all checking it out. We'll have a link in the show notes.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited
I
for
am
us.
excited
It's
too.
like been a big year so far, and it's only July.
I know, big year, but we deserve a little break and y'all deserve a little break too. That's why we made this assignment pretty easy. You get a month off to take time to maybe go back and hear some of these episodes that we talked about. And hey, you can earn yourself one of these fancy mugs.
Yeah, if you can
If
find
you
that
can
one.
find the episode that I referred to earlier. But yeah, so I think we both in the next month ahead, I'm trying to get all caught up to speed on the new client, taking my daughter to college in a few weeks, doing a
No
trip
big
to
deal.
Seattle for a week. And so by time we come back and are talking to you again, there's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of big changes in our lives.
Yeah. I think then I'll actually be able to tell you what I'm doing for this new little part-time job that I took on too. By then I should have
Yay!
more details ironed out. Yeah, it's gonna be a big month. And we're gonna
Yeah.
start school, and it's just nuts. And we're gonna keep podcasting. I think we should say that because friends have asked us, like,
Oh,
"Oh, you're both
yes.
working now." I didn't think
No.
of that until just now, as we're getting all ready to wrap this up. We're going to keep going. We love this.
Yes, we love this, and it has helped us so much and opened our eyes to
Yes.
the possibilities so much that we are hoping that we can do the same for some other listeners out there. So, yeah,
Yeah.
and we just have so much fun. We've got the best guests in the world, and they're so fun to talk to
The
on a weekly
best.
basis. So, yeah, I'm not
I
giving
know.
that up.
Every time we have an interview, I think, I can't believe we get to do this
I
today.
know.
Like, I can't believe we get to talk to this person today.
I know.
And yeah, it's so much fun. And then
Yes.
every week we think, oh, that's the best thing we've ever heard. So it's really great.
Yes, I know. We're lucky. We're so lucky, and we're so
We
grateful for you
are.
for sticking with us for, gosh, going on 3 years now. And yeah, so everybody have a wonderful summer. We will talk to you in September.
September. There's
September.
the end of August. There's our, we don't
I
know
don't
when our
know.
first, I mean, it's like 4 weeks from now, whatever that is.
There's
We'll
a
talk to you
calendar. We
then.
don't know.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. We promise we'll be back when we say we will, whatever that
Yeah,
is.
we'll be back in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
So have a great rest of your summer.
All right. Talk to you
Bye,
soon.
y'all.
Bye bye.